Block in Congress, and now new concerns from top Democrats that President Obama isn't really doing anything to get traffic moving again. Some key policymakers, even in the president's own party, say they haven't spoken to him in months. Joining me now, Republican Kentucky Senator Rand Paul. Senator, thank you so much for being with us. I want to put on the screen for our viewers three important Senate Democrats. Ken Conrad, budget chairman, trying to cut a deal on the nation's fiscal crisis. Can't recall last time he heard from the president. Tom Harkin, in charge of the president's top priority on student loans, hasn't talked with the president in months. Jeff Bingaman, Energy Committee chairman, go-to guy on high gas prices, hasn't spoken to the president much since the previous Congress. These are all Democrats, Senator. What's going on?
Well, you know, I met with the president a year and a half ago, and we talked about entitlement reform, and I offered to work with him. In fact, I told him it would help his reelection if he would work with Republicans to save Social Security and save Medicare from the trillions of dollars that they're in the hole, and we don't hear anything. I've sent him letter after letter saying, I will work with you. I wrote on Air Force One saying, I will work with you, but I think they've given up. I think they're taking the year off. They're going to campaign, but nobody's going to do anything. Meanwhile, we're borrowing $50,000 a second. It's unsustainable.
Right.
And where is the president? Out on the campaign trail.
Now, listen, a lot of people say that Congress is really to blame. In fact, let me quote from Politico.com in today's column. Obama's disengagement is also a sharp reflection of political reality. Congress is punting on virtually every major issue until after the election. Fair criticism?
Well, I have a budget that would balance in 5 years, fixes and saves Social Security, fixes and saves Medicare. Now, will I compromise? Yeah, but they have to come and talk to us. If they want to fix entitlements and they say, we'll do it a little bit slower, will you meet us in the middle? I'll meet them in the middle, but they have abdicated. They have no budget. We haven't had a Democrat budget in 3 years. Yeah. So they have to show up for the debate. In fact, I think the Democrats in the Senate ought to give back their salary because they're not showing up for work.
But didn't your budget get voted on last week and it went down in defeat? I think it was, what, 83 to 16? And yeah, that's 16 more votes than the president got.
Yeah.
But still, you couldn't even marshal together an important number within your own party, Senator.
Well, you know, getting 16 more than the president, though, is an accomplishment. The president got 0, which means nobody supports his proposal. My proposal also balances in 5 years, and that's what the balanced budget amendment requires, and we got all of the Republicans to vote for a balanced budget amendment. So I would argue that I'm one that is sincere. I'm not only for the amendment to the Constitution, but I will propose a budget that is consistent with the amendment to the Constitution.
Look, a myriad of tax cuts will expire at the end of the year and become $310 billion in tax hikes to the American people. Will that wipe out any and all economic growth for next year? And why can't Congress resolve this before December?
Just the idea that it might be wiped out, that businesses might have this large, maybe the largest tax increase in our history, is stifling our growth. So yeah, the president wants the economy to grow. He should take the tax increase off the table, say that he's not going to raise taxes in the lame duck session. But the longer he leaves that out there, the more businesses are afraid to invest.
The legislation comes, from Congress. If you guys could pass something on this, then it's in front of the president for his signature. Why does Congress always allow this to be a game of chicken until the very end, maybe the last day in December?
The reason why we bump up against deadlines and it's everybody at the end, oh, we've got to do something, is because the Democrats are unwilling to put anything forward. For example, the budget. We're supposed to have a budget and we're supposed to have appropriations bills. Then we wouldn't have, oh, the government's going to shut down in 3 days. The reason we do big, huge continuing resolutions is because we have no budget, no appropriations. If you had those, the normal sequence of things, you wouldn't have this last-minute deadlines.
Senator Rand Paul, thank you so much for dropping by our camera there at the Capitol and talking with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, a day at the zoo.